Ba-da-ba.
Daddy,
You guys are
want you to
such
choose-
Welcome to The Second Wall, a binge-free zone where we look at a series and discuss it one game at a time. This time we are discussing Squid Game Season 2, Episodes 5 to 6, Episode 7. It can be found on most podcasts and social media platforms, a full list of which can be found at beardyandthebeast.com. Please watch along and then join Drew and I in the playground to discuss.
All
Yep, that's about right.
right. Well, much like the previous episode, I'd like to go off for a little bit.
Oh, please do.
So originally our recording of Squid Game Season 2 was going to be split into 4 Batby episodes. There were going to be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and then 7 with a wrap up.
Yep.
First, cautious optimism in our recording. The second one, obviously, we felt it fell off hard.
Yep.
And then 3 and 4 came about, and then 5 and 6 came about, and I watched them, and I was ready to record it. And there was like, you know what? So little important actually happened and is worth discussing in these 2 episodes. Let's just bring in the 7th. And we'll do a 3-episode series for The Second Wall, Squid Game Season 2.
Yep, sounds about right. And then nothing happened.
I'm just sad. I'm just set. Okay, the elephant in the room. It's quite clearly just half of a season.
Oh, 100%.
Or like it's missing 2 episodes.
I'm leaning to half a season, but Netflix is weird, so clearly it's going to be season 3.
I just, if they came out in 3 months' time, we're releasing a Netflix only movie that is the conclusion of Squid Game Season 2, I'd be like, okay, there's potential there. Because we've done a whole lot of putting things out there and not a whole lot of tying things up.
Yeah.
And
they can't convince me they planned they can't convince me this was a planned thing, the best sequel ever. And ends on such a down note.
I thought we were talking about Queen of the Damned.
Sorry, the second best sequel.
Okay, so to use my words and not my sighs and my groans,
Okay.
I want to go over some stuff that I did like.
All right.
So I believe it was 2:30. The trans woman.
Yes, it sounds right.
Oh no, 1:20. Sorry, I don't know where I got 2:30. So 1:20 got to directly see the outcome of their choices in the games.
Yes.
And that was the only powerful moment, I think, at all in this series. Or sorry, season. Because there was powerful moments in the first season, so I don't want to say series.
Yes.
Yeah, when their friend got trapped outside because they fell down and got gunned down in front of 120's eyes.
Yeah.
It was like, and there was great voice acting there. Like, that was a guttural, like, no.
Yeah.
and I really liked that. It was like high tier acting. The moment was great. Um, it's too bad it was tacked onto an F tier game.
Very true.
Yeah, the partner merry-go-round thing, like,
Yeah, it was an alright game.
well, I just they didn't
You can't
use
really
it
go like,
in the same way they would do in the first season.
yeah,
Um, I I like that Thanos is gone.
yeah. He was. I like that it was gone. I just don't like that it was a rehash of season one.
I
You
mean,
know,
yeah.
it goes.
As much as I like Top and as much as I like Big Bang, um, just that character was so terrible. Like, and it was like if Joffrey was comedic and annoying.
Yep, nope. That actually works.
And I'm pretty like what I've seen of Top, he's not like that in person.
Yeah, no, it
So
was.
like if that's what he was going for, he nailed it.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like I've seen him act,
Hmm.
so I can't say for certain. I don't know. He was just a character that didn't make sense in the first place. So, I don't know. Good riddance, I guess.
Seemed out of place. Like I have this self theory that um Top wanted to refresh his career as an actor,
Yeah,
and he went for like a part of somebody in the Squid Game, and then they camped it up.
yeah. You kind of talked about that last time too, where you're like, oh, but this is what he was known for, so let's just push that into the.
Well, it's one thing to lean into it to acknowledge the stigma of your actions, right?
Yeah,
But I'm thinking like they're like, "Oh, we have Top. Let's make this someone who is this person who was originally a druggy bank clerk
yeah,
into like a failed rapper."
yeah. It's put too much into it, a lot like they did with when wrestlers were moving over to acting. Like,
Yeah,
like in the
perfect.
early case, right? It's like, nope, you've got to have the rock bottom in because it had the rock in it, and like, I mean, they definitely don't do that near as much anymore.
Hmm.
As they're like going, it's like, oh no, maybe these people can also, just be actors.
Well, I mean, when Dwayne Johnson played a gay security guard, and like convincingly,
Yeah,
that tells you like he can act. That's breaking away from that. Like it's
yeah,
one. I think the wrestler analogy is perfect. I I think the script writing and the direction did not do service to Top, and I don't even know how
agreed.
good of an actor he is.
He can't be that bad. Shatner isn't that bad.
uh, Another part that I liked, because we always like to start with the sweet before we go to the bitter,
Yes.
unless it's amazing we do it the other way around. So 380. Did you like your Saving Private Ryan moment?
380
The
was
one with the lip ring.
yes.
So the coward onlooker covering their ears and cowering while their friend and colleague gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Straight out of Saving Private Ryan.
Mm.
And that was a powerful scene in Saving Private Ryan, and it would have been a powerful scene if not held in comparison.
Mm.
But I think because it's such an iconic moment of Saving Private Ryan that like I can't not think of it.
Yeah.
Like, and it might not even be intentional, but I just
I also think it's important to point out that the way they treat it 120 throughout the show is, very out of character, especially like out of the norms, especially for like a Korean East Asian based series. And actually giving her respect when it came to like showing people how to use the weapons and such. Where
hmm.
like
Well, it's honestly, if I were to have a criticism, like I'm not, you know me, I want to treat everybody the same with the same
yeah,
respect that they show me, etc. Um, so I'm not a big person who kind of like follows trans issues or a lot of the LGBT stuff. I do have a lot
yeah.
of LGBT friends. Uh, I know that's kind of like saying I know a black person. Um, but from my perspective, uh, East Asia, like entertainment, Japan, China, and Korea, will tend to treat trans characters as um, humor characters,
Yeah,
as comedy beats.
yeah,
It's a lot like what they were doing in the 80s and 90s with black characters in American cinema.
yep, exactly.
Coincidentally, one of the reasons why Captain Marvel was so shit because they reduced Samuel L. Jackson to being the comedy character.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, so you want to just push him into being a trope?
that's one of the many reasons that movie was.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I just assume it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I actually,
Um,
well, the thing is, actually, this is an interesting topic. Like, this is the most interesting thing to carry out of these three episodes is they knew this person was different, but they also knew this person was in the exact same place as them,
yeah,
and probably for very similar reasons.
yeah,
And on both sides, they knew this person had voted to continue and voted to stay.
yeah.
So it was really nice to see that person to be taken seriously and
Mhm.
not be made into just a piece of humor.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing, like a character.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the most character progression we get in the entire thing, in my opinion, is the mother and her
Mm.
are going. It's like, oh no, you can't do that. So like actually having like, no, this isn't the way you die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I think that was done well. We actually had some character growth somewhere in the series.
And that was it.
That was it.
I mean, my personal favorite Joe Yuri hasn't had a chance to act yet, and I'm
That's
wondering
true.
how many lines they're gonna give her. But she is understanding her role in comparison to her baby daddy,
Yeah.
but there's not really anything there. Obviously, 456 isn't changed. Uh,
No.
their attempt at PTSD for the one guy was not great. I don't think it was handled or acted well.
No, I don't either. Um, I was hoping that was going to lead to something else, but of course, I looked at how much time was left in the episode and realized, oh no, much like the rest of the series, nothing is happening here.
At least like the boat nonsense kind of makes sense. So if the captain is crooked, then the captain would specifically be keeping the police officer away from the island because they know
Yeah,
the waters and they can trick him.
yeah.
because he knows how to read the gauges and the maps and things, and he's just a trusted resource because he saved a life. And I kind of suspected it. I don't
Yeah.
I don't like it as a twist.
No, it was the only thing that twist served was to show, yep, handsome cop is going to be just as useless in this one.
It's true.
Right? Just like you just said, it's like, okay, even if he gets called out and being the corrupt one, well, it doesn't matter. You're still not going to find the island.
Yeah, what are you gonna do without the captain?
Yeah, exactly. Um,
It's quite clear that the rest of the people on the ship don't know anything about the boat.
yeah,
They definitely don't have sea legs.
yeah.
So they just
You know,
write him off. I'm pretty sure he's had negative, like Handsome Cop has had negative character progression at this point.
I agree. You know, that scene on the boat though, for a show that's already fighting to keep me in the show,
Hmm.
it took me out so hard. It's like I heard the screams and like bullshit. You heard the screams in that downpour.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't believe this.
It wasn't even a scream. It was like a huh, huh.
Yeah,
It was like
exactly.
goofy.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yup, yup,
Yuck,
yup,
yuck, yuck. So,
yup.
like, there's nothing to talk about Handsome Cop. Obviously, right off of the last three episodes, because there's no progression that's led to nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have a thread of direction. They should have pointed them in a direction. Maybe caught out the captain as being crooked early. Maybe like end of episode 5, make that the end of episode 5 twist.
Yeah.
And then they deal with him in episode 6, and maybe they get a radio message and it's like, have you taken care of them?
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, so now we're on to them and we got progression.
Yeah.
But instead, the entire thread of having a paramilitary force and having a direction and trying to find is like, are they ever going to find this island? The
The answer is no. Though, if they do, I mean, at least somehow all of these contestants happen to, like, cut the soldiers down in half.
well, I think it was like by a third.
Yeah.
Well, that's still plenty.
Yeah.
Uh,
Man, there's a lot of people who seem to, be in the military in these games, huh?
well, I mean, they have manual military service for men.
Mm. Ah, right.
Well,
That's the thing.
it's public service, but like military is the common one. So you have to spend it's either 2 or 3 years. I think it's 2 years in Korea.
Right. I remember this. I think it is for women too.
Nope.
I thought they had some other public service.
No.
Part of like Diva's backstory or some shit.
The
That's right. I'm comparing it to Overwatch because that's where I get my knowledge of Korea from.
she it's not like they'll ever retcon her being a pro e-gamer or anything. But yeah. Speaking of going nowhere, like what was the point of the coup? All it did was serve to get 001 back to being the front man.
Yeah.
Like delivering him. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically it means the games are going to continue because the only people who fought back were the people who wanted out of the games.
Yeah.
Like, I,
It's like why did they try to make Squid Games into an American action film?
this season has been the exact opposite of what we look for. when we're talking about a lot of the stuff in the second wall. Every frame was wasted. Literally all of them.
And that's the thing. Like in the first recording, like you and I had the disconnect. Obviously, you were right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're handsome. I'm not very good looking. Um, I see you're not protesting.
I
Um,
mean, obviously. No.
but I'm just. I think I was on to something in the first two episodes because or no, it was in for the second recording, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I called it. No, it was the first recording. It I said it felt like an American take on a Japanese thriller.
Yes.
Um, Opposed to a Korean take on a standard like East Asian
Yeah.
style of story.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it really feels like infected with bad Americanisms. I can understand 456 wanting to start a coup. I understood his motivations to try to stop the game and get everybody to leave of their own accord and things to
Yeah.
save lives. But I didn't buy him sacrificing the few to save the many.
I don't know. It's kind of dumb once he's on the games. All of his like character growth disappeared the second he got his step foot back on that island.
Yeah.
He- like there's no reason that like the
I would have bought it more if he went back in and he was quiet.
yes.
And he was playing the games till he had a chance to strike.
Well, again, it's kind of what we talked about in the earlier recordings as well. It was like again, it was one of the big things with Liar's Game, with a battle royale sequel, with the Hunger Games sequels. It's you play the game until you find a way to strike.
Yeah.
You know how to play the game, so you know how to keep yourself alive and bide your time. That was the opposite of what happened there.
There's some interesting notes coming out of 001.
Hmm.
Like it's quite obvious, like I had said before, he's in the game specifically to figure out the motivation of 456 and who he is as a character.
Yeah.
Problem is we're looking at negative character progression.
Okay, let's compare our 001s for a second.
Yeah.
Because I think this is valid. Um, we're going into the assumption that Frontman was also there to get an idea of the games. It's very much what 001 was doing. He wanted to participate, he wanted to understand the participants, why they were there. 001 probably just wanted that for 456, but still. Why? I thought they were going somewhere interesting
Hmm.
because we have 456. He's done what he has. He's proven what he proven air quotes because I don't know. I think the guy lucks out on everything he does.
Hmm.
Um, um, just like he proved with 001 that hey, there are some people that care, and that was the thread that I think was going through. So I don't think it was sacrificing the few to save the many. I think it was just having the people who had it was getting the people who had the balls to save the others. Right? It's the big damn hero moment.
I mean, yeah,
And
that's not really where I'm going, but continue.
yeah. And I kind of half thought that the whole 001 thing might have been like, okay, hey, look, we have found the person who's actually worthy of the games. And then, he just goes and kills everyone and goes right back in. So it's useless.
Well, what I thought they were leading to was 001 joining the games of their own accord because they hate themselves in the position they put themselves in, how they got there, and what the everything had become.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought that drinking moment was. I thought it was coping before he entered the games.
Yeah.
Because the way the scene was lit, the music, the way it was feeling, where it was placed in the episode, gave me that point of view.
Yeah.
So I thought he was actively in the games to understand 456 so that he can make some logic of what's going on and change himself.
Yeah.
But then as soon as 456 is like, no, we're going to let them kill some of our side so that we'll be safe so we can jump the people with guns, then you
Yeah.
see him half smile, and then that's when, mission send 001 home begins.
Yeah.
Uh, like the entire movie, what was the recording that we did recently? I can't remember anything today. I apologize. Um, it was a recording where I claimed everything. Oh, not everything. It was Eyes Wide Shut, actually.
Mm.
I said Eyes Wide Shut is the story of and thens.
Yeah.
I mean, the story felt like, so John and Mary went in to the restaurant, and then they ordered some food, and then a car crashed into the restaurant, and then so there's no buts or in spite ofs,
Yeah.
and this feels so much more. It was just like a fever dream of a kid telling you a story.
It's so true.
And then they have to go in the doors, otherwise they'll get shot, and then they come out and they have to play again. And then they do that several times, and then they go back in, and then they go into the bathroom, and then they stab the rapper, and then
Yeah.
the only impact we're seeing on any of these characters so far is like 120.
Mm.
And I think that character could be much better too. It's just the best character that we have so far.
Yeah.
I don't believe 456 final moment.
No, not at all.
Like, we didn't have enough time with his friend or to understand their relationship. And I didn't buy the like I was gonna leave the strike encampment, but I stayed because you were crying in your sleep. Like,
It's another example of them just copying season one because he had his friend in season one,
mm,
but at least we actually learnt about him and cared about him a bit,
mm,
right? Like we saw the character change, and his whole character was, I was in the military.
mm. I'm just I'm very unimpressed. Uh, I'm not excited for season 3.
No.
Like, if honestly, the only seasons that I'm looking forward to coming up right now are probably Demon Slayer and Blue Lock. Season 3 of Blue Lock is going to be a banger.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
I know we just finished watching Blue Lock. I'd rather talk about Blue Lock.
Yes.
Do you know what I believe? It's Yuichi Isagi's motivations.
Yeah.
His whole thing is like, in that, what was it, the final episode or the second to final episode of season 2, when he goes up to the Glasses Bro and Glasses Bro is like, no, this is our limit, but everybody here is going to be set up for scholarships and is going to be taken into other teams and club teams, and they're
Yeah.
going to be known throughout the world. And he's like, I don't I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
We're here and I want to win this. I want to be the
Yes.
best striker in the world.
Yes. And then, oh, that game-winning goal. I don't know, like, there's a show that we've watched it. We joke at it all the time because it's sports anime. We know this.
I still think the
I don't.
characters are
I
gay.
think it's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not joking about that.
No. No. But like the characterization is there. These characters that hate each other have every reason to be antagonistic together. You know, teaming up to beat the National League.
Well,
There's character there.
and I mean, like, even if we compare this to Squid Game, like Squid Game season 1 did an okay job of giving you the impression of I will step on you to get further in this. Of course,
Yes.
stepping on you is life and death in Squid Game season 1, and that's how we're going to progress through these games. That was like half of what that old guy on Let's Continue team was
Yeah.
saying, and I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
But in Blue Lock, they straight up look at each other with serial killer eyes and go like, I will consume you to get better.
Yeah.
I will destroy everything you are to get this goal and elevate myself that fraction of 1%.
Yeah. I am I will ruin our chances so you don't get the chance. And you know what? The team adapts to that. And they become better for it. Watch
the
Blue Lock, it's much better.
it's so weird. Like I know there was a lot of criticism about most of season 2 being of Blue Lock being like still frames,
Mm.
because there was a lot of like I'm a still frame and this is a monologue.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of Isagi standing there. Like half of all the episodes are Isagi standing there with puzzle pieces falling around him.
True.
Not enough him with like green flame eyes, which is like awesome.
Up tier Deku shit.
Exactly. The but like it only bugged me a couple times while I was watching the season, and like it bears something that you have to mention it,
Mm.
especially in comparison to like the last 2 episodes were amazing.
Oh, so good.
Like they were actually showing like ball juggling.
Yeah, they were.
They were actually moving it, like you could see their feet move. It wasn't just like still frames of people making kicks.
Oh yeah,
And
no, some of that dribbling was insane watching it.
yeah,
Like, I mean, that's the thing with animation. Like, you don't need to animate everything. You need to convey that there's You need to convey that there's motion.
yeah, I was watching a
And we
thing.
always did that.
What was it? It might have been an animator from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm.
And there's a lot of scenes where like no one's doing anything, but to convey a sense of progression and make it not feel static, they'll have things move in the background.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that like Ghibli does, right? Like so they have these picturesque like painted backgrounds with like rose rose blossom petals um floating in
Yeah.
the wind in the background, and your character's just like sat there holding their teacup,
Yep.
and it's a powerful moment, and it has that sense of movement.
There was in I want to say it was in Invincible season 2. They went to a comic convention.
Oh, that's
And
what I'm thinking. Invincible, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and they're talking about the anime. They're talking about the animations. Like, oh yeah, no. Sometimes you just do these things. You just need to convince it. So, yeah, you're just getting shots of their eyes moving because it's easier to do that than their mouths. And you know, we convey enough that we've got a bat painting that we just scroll the camera over, and you'll never realize because it's a crowd, and which is the simple act of panning the camera. lets you see that.
Didn't they make wasn't that an animated thing?
Yes.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Because they were doing it as they were saying it, and you're like, the entire time as a viewer, you're like, oh, son of a bee.
Yeah.
You tricked me the entire time.
Yeah. But I mean, like, with that being said, it's not like the magical girl transformation scenes that they did to like literally save time and animation and just run out of time on an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, these are the things that are there. You need to convey the movement. And I'm sorry, if someone's jumping in the air, there's really not that much movement other than the hair rustling and the ball spinning.
That actually makes me wonder, like, I actually am starting to think that season 2 of Squid Game uh, would have been better if they were just half-hour episodes. There was no reason for them to be an hour long. Not enough happened.
I don't think it would fix anything.
You know what it would do? It would pace it better. Because we'd be hitting the moments that matter. You can see it because we're on a video, but the audience obviously can't see me doing finger quotations. Um, but it would pace it better because they'd be closer together. You wouldn't have like 3 beats, one 2 minutes in, one 5 minutes in, and one 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
They'd all be collected within that like 20-30 minute episode. Um, I'll tell you what. How did they successfully get me to not care about 011? Previously, the only interesting character.
I think because I'm wondering the same thing. The only thing is like that anonymity makes it so I don't know. We don't know if it's her that's pulling the trigger in any case.
Hmm.
And oh, she's not standing up for herself. Like oh, she just kind of gave up and let it happen. It's like, okay, well, I guess this is how the world is. There's nothing. I don't believe there's going to be anything redeeming there. Like that's my theory. But I mean, again, we were kind of hoping that we'd get to see the inner workings of the game some more with her, and guess what? We didn't get in 7 episodes.
You know what they could have done, and it would have actually been interesting.
Ended
Is
it at season 1.
I mean, yes, but also if 011 had used that combat situation to kill the people who were harvesting organs,
Yes.
and she did nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in the case of that, like we would know it's her, even if we're not having even with the anonymity, because she's the only character that we have any reason to believe would be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would have given us some growth with her. But I am convinced that this show is allergic to character growth. And I feel like we kind of thought that in season 1 too.
Yeah. I mean, at least at least in Blue Lock, we have characters like Nagi, who comes in, is aloof, doesn't care, and just plays.
Yeah.
When I mean, originally because Ryo Mikage was pushing him to.
Yeah.
And then actually starts playing for himself, and then when he loses, he realizes people better than him. Like, he actually starts taking motivation, actually starts taking things more seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you
And
could.
we get the great moment of them, being on the field again together.
Well, it's like even leading up to that, like him being such a good player and realizing in the end to win, you can't just shoot everything. Like, you have to actually believe and rely on your players.
Yeah. And they all do that. I mean, that's one of the things that Isagi was good at doing, right? Like he's not the best striker, but I think he should be the captain of Blue Lock. He actually understands it and understands how to use his players in the best positions,
That's true.
right? Like he knows how to work with people. He knows how to adapt even better than
456.
456. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say her chameleon. I can't remember what his name was.
A chameleon? That's my Rio.
Was Rio the chameleon?
Because Rio can copy.
Right. Yes. I was thinking it was one of the glam ones, but it's not.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, better than oh darn. Wait, do we have two Rios? We have no Rin.
Yeah.
Definitely better
Rin.
than Rin. Rin should definitely not be a captain.
No. No, he is the type of person that you can push to be where you need him to be, but that's just tricking him to make him want to destroy all of the other players.
Well, that I like how like it's it's so funny the purpose of Blue Lock because we actually get a purpose of what this um this institution, this building, this secretive collective that brings people together to play games.
Yeah.
We actually get a shot and understand what their motivation is to actually doing the entire event, unlike Squid Game. And we actually care about it, unlike Squid Game.
And I mean, just to be clear, the concept of Blue Lock is essentially the same. It's just not death. It's just you'll never play sports again, which could be death for these people.
They'll still play sports. They're not banned from it. They just won't get to participate in this thing.
Yeah.
So I love how the epitome of winning and being successful in Blue Lock. This is very silly to me, but Rin, our best striker,
Yeah.
becomes a defenseman to shut down his brother.
Yes.
To win the game, a team of all strikers has to become a goalie and a defense and an offensive line and become a whole team that believes and trusts in each other. So the best striker is just a functional team.
Yep. And they're playing against like the best defensive team in the league. and have to deal with this. And I don't know, even what's his name? The demon guy who's literally just there. Like he's told like, yeah, I know we said this was your plan, but your plan is literally to shut down the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. If you're all that egotistical and figure you need to do it, then fine. I'll make you guys compete against each other. You're still gonna make it work somehow. And they did. Oh.
Oh no, is there a comic of it? Oh yeah, there's like
Probably.
dang it.
Are you contemplating going and reading it so you instead of waiting for the next season?
No, I'll wait because we're watching that together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we need to watch episode Nagi still.
Of
They
what?
did that OVA. They did the OVA in between season 1 and season 2.
A Blue Lock?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just following Nagi.
Well, let's wrap this up and then do that then, because I'm. So
thank you for coming to our talk about Blue Lock.
So here's the thing: the second wall. The reason I don't know, our audience might begin to understand that we're kind of migrating more to the second wall and kind of letting Media Club take a back burner because the conversations of the second wall are just more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in doing them. They're more entertaining to me. the episodal like long content with suspicions and predictions and seeing a character's growth is just so amazing to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I didn't even want to watch the last episode of Squid Game season 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in season 3. Uh, maybe we'll just binge it, maybe a couple beers, and then like one
And
recording.
do Liquid with Arcane season 1.
Yeah.
Just watch it just to, finish it off, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's not going to get the treatment that it normally does. I mean, like I agree. Second Wall has better conversations. The idea that we can work on predictions and talk about the character growth is fantastic in my opinion.
Mhm.
I like the fact that generally in any given series, the first episode is like half an hour long, and then by the end of it, 2 hour discussion because there's just so much going on. I hate editing it, but but
Now
it
you know how I feel as the media club guy.
yeah. But I like how it builds on itself. And we spent half this episode talking about Blue Lock, and this is going to be shorter than our first episode.
I don't think Squid Game is gonna make it.
No,
Frankly, like it's quite obvious that the little things aren't adding up like they might have in season 1. Season 1 had the benefit of being a ship in a bottle. That really helped it.
yeah,
Um and I'd have to check out some of the other person stuff, but it's not like we got a Kubrick on our hands here.
yeah. There
Anyways,
was stuff there. Yeah,
yeah, I got nothing to add. I don't have positive feelings towards it. That's it.
yeah. Oh, they've managed to take our middling feelings and just throw them on the ground or something.
It had so much promise
It did.
for one episode.
I was so hoping you would be right.
I was hoping I would be right too. Finn.
Bean.